Welcome back to Ben's Apisto channel. This is Apisto Talk, episode 5. This episode will be covering filtration. If you've been watching the Apisto Talk series so far, thank you very much, first of all. Second of all, that you know this is a 40-gallon breeder tank. I haven't really gone over my filtration yet. I used to have another 40-gallon tall in here before. Petco had their $1 a gallon sale, so this is a Tetra 40B model tank. I already had this other filter in the other tank before. This is an ATI Hydro Sponge 4. I believe the model number is Model 4. I usually like to at least double what the filtration should be on a tank, if not triple or quadruple. The solution for pollution is dilution. So basically what you want to do, if you have enough fish to 100% stock a 40-gallon tank, that's usually not good. Right now I'm sitting at about 75% stock level from what I believe what Aquaquotient or whatever says that this should be at for all my fish that are in here. That's pretty good for me. Like I said, this is an 80-gallon sponge filter. It runs pretty well. If you don't know what a sponge filter is, sponge filters run on air pumps. There is an air pump under here. I have it above the tanks just in case the air pump goes out. And the check valve messes up, and I still don't get burnt up electronics. Anyway, it runs from an air pump, and the air pump continues down there and goes all the way in there. How it works is water is forced from that pump into the top of that filter, and the air or the water has to replace the air that's being pumped into the tank. And since there is a tube directly kind of down the middle of this sponge filter, the water gets sucked through it and up that tube. So I think that sponge filters are probably my new favorite filters. I used to use hang on the back filters a lot. I used the bio wheel filters a while. I had a double bio wheel on my 100-gallon with my 2 Oscars and my common Plecostomus, and that seemed like it was almost just enough to filter that tank. Anyway, this sponge filter works really great. There are the power head filters that you can use. Those work great too. But both the power head and the hang on the back filters create a decent amount of current. Canister filters are also great. I believe Aquatic Master has a new Hagen G3 that he's using in his Apisto tanks, and I'm waiting to see if his G3 works as well as he says it does. Waiting for a couple updates on his videos to maybe see if I'm going to switch over to it, but it really is recommended by a lot of people to use just the sponge filters instead of the hang on the back filters or anything like that, just because it reduces the amount of current in your tank since it sucks in and pushes out towards the top. It's also pretty compact. You get a filter and an air stone almost in the same bit. And guess how much that was? That whole filter right there, cheaper than the air pump. Its filters are usually like $35. This filter was $8 at my local fish shop. $8. And people use them for years and years and years. I can get a new sponge for it for a couple bucks. It does need to be cleaned a little bit. I do clean it every time I do a water change, but I'm kind of waiting to see if the girls down here that I have down here, the Bistogramma cockatoides, have any eggs yet, because or the fry yet, because fry like to eat off of sponge filter material, You can also squeeze it above them, your fry, and it can eat the little bacteria that fall off of your sponge filter. So sponge filters work great in tanks. They're pretty much my favorite. They're, like I said, really cheap. If you want to clean a sponge filter when you're doing your water changes, get one of your buckets full of your aquarium water, disassemble it in the reverse way that you assembled it. Take the sponge part off. You can wash everything else in the sink except for the sponge. Wash the sponge in the aquarium water. What you want to do is just dunk it and squeeze it, dunk it and squeeze it, dunk it and squeeze it inside of the bucket of aquarium water. Do not rinse it in your sink. The chlorine in your sink and everything else will kill a lot of the beneficial bacteria and could start a cycle or a mini cycle in your tank. Something you do not want. You want to keep the balance of good bacteria and bad bacteria in your tank, so your fish stay happy, healthy, live a long time, don't die, and aren't subject to a myriad of different things that can kill fish. So anyway, if you use a different sort of filtration than I do, I'd really like to hear it. I've got a Q&A video that I'd like to be coming out with pretty soon. I've got a couple of questions that I'm saving up from a few of my videos, my previous videos, if I haven't gotten back to you on the comments, I am waiting until I have maybe 5 or 6 good questions from a couple different people, and then I'll do a Q&A video. I'll do my best to answer all of your questions. If I don't get to your questions this video, I'll get to them on the next video or the next. Just keep on watching. Don't harass me if I don't get to your question. If I can, I will email you directly back. You can email all of your questions to bensapistochannel@yahoo.com. Again, that is bensapistochannel@yahoo.com. There will be a link in the comments or the description of this video. So you could just scroll down there, copy and paste into your email and shoot me off some questions, or you can ask a question on the comments of this video or any other video, and I'll try to get to them. So thank you for watching. Thanks for keeping up the interest. I've got 20 subscribers right now. That's awesome. That's about 3 a day. I started about a week ago. I'm pretty excited about that, I guess. This whole YouTube thing is working out great. I'm loving being an educator and a student at the same time. So rate, comment, subscribe if you've got any other ideas for any other Apisto talks. If there's anything I left out here, maybe you want to leave it in the comments. And have a good day. See you on the next episode.